My name is James Williams Jr. This is Kung Fu Habit number 2. If you watched my last video, I told you I was going to do a video about people being blatantly racist and not knowing that they're racist. Okay, so here you go. There is a difference between racism and prejudice. Prejudice has no boundary. Like, literally, it has no boundary. It's not just because somebody's white, black, or Asian, or Mexican, or whatever. That's just straight racism. But prejudice, it counts against someone who's smarter than you, or dumber than you, or slightly retarded, or mental discrepancies, or whatever. I'm trying to be politically correct as possible without offending people. That shit's not gonna happen. I'm probably gonna offend like 9 people before the shit's over with. Racism is about skin color, where prejudice is about, okay, this guy's 7'4", I don't like him because he's tall. He's tall, so it scares me. I should probably be worried about what he's going to do if he wraps his hands around my neck. Well, most tall people that I've met, I haven't met anyone 7'4" yet that I can recall, but I have met people that's about 6'6", 6'5". Very few of them have been frightening. I've had some bullies that were like 6'5", 6'6", those guys were frightening, but they were also slightly racist because I'm also a half-breed, and I'm short, and they also got more pussy than me. At least that's the lie they were telling back in high school. I don't know if that shit is true. I don't care. It's not my business or concern of how much pussy you get. Now, prejudice also falls in discrimination and sexism. I don't want to give her a job because she's Asian. I don't want to give her a job because she's black. I don't want to give her a job because she's white. She's as tall as a goddamn Amazon. So, herefore, if you're saying stuff like that, you're more prejudiced than racist. Now let's break it down. If someone looks at you and you're a man of color, specifically if you're a black man and this person looks at you and they say that it's okay for you to be friends with their kids, but it's not okay for you to marry and impregnate their daughter or their son, to impregnate you being a black woman, then they're a fucking racist. It's just that simple. Racism is about your race. It's about how much someone hates you because of your race. It has nothing to do with much more like if you're pretty or ugly, like me, because I'm ugly. But if you are just simply born black and that person is simply not, they're a racist. Now hold it before you go getting your underwear or your panties or your thong in a bunch and some knots and shit. There's just as many black racist people as there are white people. And how do I know this? Because I myself have been the victim of both sides. Oh yeah, there's also just as many racist Native Americans. And how do I know this? Because only one time have I been the victim of racist ass Native Americans. Yes, so we all have some racist in us. It's how you keep it in check that defines you, or if you're going to be a racist, or ignorant, or a bigot, or if you're not. Now, I have never gone up to a Native American and said, hey, redskin, fuck you. No, I have not. Now, when I was a kid, and I didn't know but only one Asian race, I had an incident with a Vietnamese cat, and he threw something at me, and I couldn't win, so I threw a racial remark back at him. Thinking that he was Chinese, I told him to go back to China and eat rice cakes. I was wrong. I have never forgiven myself for that. However, he corrected me really quickly with a "fuck you, half-breed. I'm not Chinese. I'm from Vietnam." And I was like, "What the fuck is that?" But at that time, I hadn't known that the Vietnam War was the last war. I was born in '73. Vietnam ended in '75. So by the time Vietnam ended, I was still in diapers. Anyway, and so was that guy, by the way. So his family came here for a better life. His family has probably met far more racism than most black people have met because he's from Vietnam and we lost a lot of people in Vietnam and Korea. And a lot of that racism has formed from that because people have just had a whole lot of dealings with Asian people in war. All right. Now, for those who aren't up to speed, unfortunately, Vietnam was not one of America's prettier moments, and neither was Korea, and neither was damn it, Hiroshima. I'm sorry, my tongue got twisted on that. Or Nagasaki, because they bombed Pearl Harbor, which woke us up and entered us into the war full fledged. If Japan had never attacked Pearl Harbor, we probably would have not blown up Hiroshima and Nagasaki. However, more innocent people were taken out during that than more innocent people were taken out in any other
cataclysmic war. And most of the time I say that is because Hiroshima and Nagasaki were civilian ports. There were no military things to my knowledge. Now I could be wrong, and y'all can Google and feed me that info. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But if I'm not wrong, then I'm not sorry. But a lot of racists towards Asian people had come through that, and a lot of Japanese people that were born in America, hell, a lot of Asian people in general that were born in America were sent to entrapment camps, whether they were Japanese or not. If your eyes were slanted, your ass was going. Except for if you were a Native American whose eyes are also slanted, but they knew who you were just by the way you wear your clothes. So if a Native American jumped in a D, you'd probably think they were Japanese. So you would still be considered a racist. Alright? Now let me explain my racial endeavors so that you won't think that I'm full of shit. When I was but a boy, in the third grade, and I told you the story before, I punched a white girl in the mouth for calling me a nigger. It was the first girl I ever hit that wasn't kin to me. It was also the last girl I ever hit in my life. Alright? Because I wasn't raised to hit women. And that shit happened so fast that it wasn't supposed to. And this is before I found out I was part Native American. I just thought that I was black. Now looking at my mom, you wouldn't be able to tell that she's black. But she's black. Her dad's dad was white. Alright? Her mom's Native American, possibly Native American and black, but she's mostly Native American and she was raised by a black woman who wasn't her biological mother. There you go. You got that story good. Anyway, my dad's dad is black and my dad's mom was Native American. So therefore, I got Cherokee on both sides, very proud of my ethnic heritage. Now, there are times when I'm a black racist towards black people. And why is that? Because self-hatred brings out self-hatred. And black people who hate light-skinned black people, or people who don't look like they should be in the black community, spawns hatred back to hatred. Now, I have been called half-breed, I have been called chief, I have been called a lot of things by black people. You know, and as hurtful as those things are, I've had to accept them because punching them in the face isn't going to change the fact that they still think that I'm going to be some kind of half-breed. Now, as I told you back in my grade school days, and there was a race war between the blacks and the white kids, and no one really wanted me on my side because they didn't know if I was going to betray them for the white guys or betray the white guys for the black guys. It was a really fucked up damn situation. So, are there equal races on each side? The answer is fucking yes. For every racist white person, there is a racist black person. For every racist white and black person, there is a racist Asian person. And the problem is with racism, and I'm going to tell you, this is the whole entire problem right here, is that no one who hates someone for their race has thought or tried or attempted to get to know someone of the race that they hate. And if they have, they've gotten to know the wrong people, which makes them hate the racist. I can't blame every Asian person for some shit that went down before I was born. 1942 was a long time ago for most of us. And I can't blame Japanese people for bombing Pearl Harbor. The ancestors committed those sins, not them. I can't blame black people in Africa for selling my ancestors to white men and bringing them over here. I can't blame my white ancestors for raping and pillaging my black ancestors or my Native American ancestors, which led up to me. Now, I don't know if that's a fact, if they've been raped or any of that shit, but it's just a figure of the speech. Now, have I met nice white people? Got some in my family. Would give up my life for their ass. And they know who they are. They live in Richmond. I love them with all my fucking heart. Got some nice black people in my family. Would lay down my life for their ass. That's what this training was all about. Laying down your life for every fucking person in America who has a color or is breathing air. Now, I've met a lot of racist black people. I've met equally racist white people and equally racist Asian people. Alright? And here's the thing. If you don't know you're a racist, this is how you find out. And I want you to think about this long and hard as I get ready to end this video. I'm an ugly man, so I can use that as an excuse for why you won't let me date your daughter, but I'm a nice, ugly man. If I treat your daughter like she's supposed to be treated, like the queen, the woman, the beautiful gift that you have given me, and I don't disrespect you, but you will never let me marry or procreate with your daughter because of the color of my skin, not because I'm a good guy, not because I've never raised my hand or my voice at your daughter, but just because of the simple fact that I'm a few shades darker than you, lighter than some black people, but darker than others, because my true color's high yellow, then your ass is a racist. So if you look at your daughter's black friend and he's a little guy, she's a little girl, and they're running and they're playing it all happy because kids don't know racism until we fucking teach it to them because we're the stupid ones. And you look at that black kid through the years as they grow up and they grow closer, and you start like making it so, yo, you can't be around my daughter. You know, you start putting obstacles in their way. You start, look, baby, I think you should go to this after school program because this is one of those after school programs that very few black people attend. You know, you're a racist. And the script is reversed. If you're a black man and you're looking at your friend's daughter and she's playing with your son and she's all slant-eyed and growing up sexy, and it's okay for him to fuck her, but it's not okay for him to marry her, then your ass is a racist. And if you're an Asian and a white person and you're growing up and you don't want your grandchildren to have slanted eyes, so you decided that he can't mate with the girl that he truly loves and forces him to marry someone else of his own ethnicity, your ass is a fucking racist. If you're the mother of that daughter and refuse to let her marry that dude and prefer her to be with her own kind, your ass is a fucking racist. It's really just simple, because when it comes down to racism, you're hating people because of their race. You're not hating them because of who they are. You're not hating them for anything other than the fact that they were born in a body of a different color than yours. It has nothing to do with anything else outside of the skin color. That's it. When somebody says, I hate that nigger, and that nigger that they're talking about is a white nigger, you know, you're still a racist, but you just decided he was a white nigger instead of a black nigger, or an Asian nigger, or in most of their cases, you could probably call them a chink, a gook, a wetback, a speck. God, that's a whole lot. Yeah, Mexicans is the same thing, because most people can't really tell if someone's actually a Mexican or if they're fucking Asian. When I went to college, there was a girl who was Mexican, but she looked totally Japanese. But what people fail to understand is that Native Americans are Asian, and Mexicans' biology are Native Americans and white with Spanish ties. Spanish people aren't colored. Spanish people are pale white. Alright? Now, if you're Mexican, the reason why you look like an Incan or an Aztec because most of your ancestors were Incans and Aztecs. Now, if you're Spanish from Spain, you won't look like a Mexican because unless your ancestor was brought from over here to over there, you would only have the white colored gene. Christopher Columbus was from Spain. Spain. He was white. He was from Spain. John Smith was from England. He was white. John Roth was from England. He was white. John Roth married Pocahontas. Their kids are half Powhatan and half white. And no matter how far away the bloodline gets closer to white, they will still have a few drops and traces of DNA that is Powhatan that is connected to one of the greatest Native American females of all time, which is Pocahontas. Pocahontas is married in England. Wayne Newton, not a Powhatan, tried to get her bones exhumed and brought back away from her home. Bad move, Wayne Newton. Her kids are still there. Her grandkids are still there. They're basically royalty. So you don't have ties to that. Not that I'm being a dick. But if you are judging people clearly by the color of their skin, if you are thinking this person, whether they're a male or female, cannot marry your child, you are a racist. If you don't want your child to be procreating and have half-breed grandchildren, you are a racist. And growing up a half-breed myself, I know that I have been the victim of racism. And racist has probably completely kept me from marrying the girl that I wanted to marry. I had to move on by force, not by course. So, therefore, if you don't know everything that I just said about yourself, you're probably a racist and just don't know it. You know how Jeff Foxworthy, baddest ass comedian, always talking about people being rednecks? Well, you might be a racist. You're not a redneck. And no, I'm not specifically talking about Jeff Foxworthy. He is not a racist. And I don't know if he's a redneck because, hell, I could be a redneck. I'm in Virginia. I live in Virginia. Rednecks are popular around here. Anyway, I'm James Williams. It's Conflict number 2, B, C, and E.